In this video, I'll be talking to you about my favorite neighborhoods in the University of Richmond, Virginia area. Make sure you stick around to the end so I can tell you about my very favorite neighborhood. You are not going to want to miss it. So one of my very favorite neighborhoods in this particular area of Richmond, the University of Richmond area, is Sleepy Hollow. It is one that is near and dear to my heart. This particular area of Richmond reminds me so much of the area that I grew up in Great Falls, Virginia, in the Northern Virginia area. So if there is any way that you are maybe coming from the Northern Virginia area or the DC, Maryland area, and you love the feel of that area, this is the spot that you want to settle in Richmond, Virginia, without a doubt. Reminds me so much of all of the neighborhoods that I lived in or that I went and visited my friends in and all that stuff. Sleepy Hollow definitely just feels like it to me. Price ranges, you can still find things in the 600s, but you're definitely going to be going more into the 900,000 range. These houses were built quite a bit ago. You know, 40s, I'd say between the 40s and 50s more prevalently, some into the 60s. Sure, you're going to find some lots where the house maybe has been torn down or been added onto. That's something you'll also find a lot in this area because they're such popular neighborhoods. And this is definitely a spot where it is location, location, location. You are in the where everyone wants to be, and absolutely beautiful. So again, back to Sleepy Hollow, most of them the 40s to 50s, sometimes the 60s are a little bit more modern, but most of these homes that you're going to be coming by, they will either be completely untouched or they will be completely remodeled. There isn't a whole lot in between. You're not going to have to be paying any kind of homeowners association dues, which is great, but you will find a lot of homes that have private pools in the backyard, so kind of private amenities, which is even better. But a great community and one that I love. Had a beautiful listing over on Tarrytown several years ago, which was such an honor to list, and again, reminded me so much of some of my friends' homes that I used to play at back in my girlhood days in Great Falls. So another one of my very favorite neighborhoods over in this University of Richmond area would be Westham. So expect in Westham that you are going to be paying, you know, between the 600 to 2 million price point. Again, another neighborhood where things were built between the 40s and the 60s. Same scenario as Sleepy Hollow, and again, very similar things that you're going to find in all of these communities as lots of larger yards, lots of private pools, or different beautiful hardscaping that they've done in the backyard. And there's not a lot of in between. It's either a house that hasn't been touched or it's been completely gutted or added on to. I know that one of my favorite spots over there during the holiday time frame, and this is something that is like really big in the Richmond area, and we call it our Tacky light tours. And you have people that like regularly go out there and go all out. I know that many of the properties that are on the actual tour, like you can do like tour buses, some people will just get in the cars and go out with their friends and do things, but there's one in particular in Westham that is on one of the lakes that I love year after year to go by, and it's something that always delights everyone as well. So if you love going by and looking at all the Christmas lights and beautiful homes, Westham is a great one to check out. So another one of my favorite neighborhoods over in this area is Mooreland Farms. Now, most of the homes were built in the 80s, but there are newer sections that they're opening up. You know, that is kind of the trend there for quite some time, that it was a lot of undeveloped land, and then in the past years where there's really been a shortage of homes, you're noticing that people are selling off the land and developers are coming in and putting some custom homes. But do expect in Mooreland Farms, you are not going to be finding anything under the 900,000 range. So keep that in mind when you're going in. And again, these are going to be properties that have a little bit larger lots, particularly the older resale properties that you're looking at. New construction, not as much, so always keep that in mind. And of course, we would be just so silly not to mention one of the #1 neighborhoods, and one of my very favorite ones would be Windsor on the James. Windsor on the James is definitely a very premier neighborhood. Do not even think about driving in unless you are looking to spend over $2 million. That is the kind of neighborhood that it is. Now, most of the homes were built in the 90s. You're going to notice some amazing renovations to these homes, though. I can't can't remember the last time I've shown something over in Windsor and the James that it hadn't been renovated. And for amenities, yes, there are going to be certain fees that you're going to be paying for being in that community. And I think really more than anything, the amenity is being in a community in this beautiful section of Richmond that has a very private estate-like feel. You know that you are in a special community and that you need to value that, and that your neighbors are all going to be watching out for each other because it's not just anyone who's going to be driving into the neighborhood. So there you have it, my favorite neighborhoods in the U of R section of Richmond, Virginia. Thank you so much for tuning in, and remember, leave everything better. Once again, if this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything there is to know about living in Richmond, Virginia, hit the like button, hit subscribe, and hit that bell too so you're notified every time we release a new video.